Hi all. So in previous video we discussed Balfour Declaration, Sykes-Picot Agreement, British Mandate System and Peel Commission. Now in this present video we will discuss World War II, illegal Jewish immigration, UN partition plan, civil war and war of independence. So during the Second World War, the Jewish agency worked to establish a Jewish army that would fight alongside the British forces. Churchill supported this plan, but British military and government opposed this plan. British demanded that the number of Jews recruited should match the number of Arab recruits, but only few Arabs would fight for Britain. And the Palestinian leader, the Mufti of Jerusalem, he allied with Nazi Germany. In June 1940, Italy declared war on the British Commonwealth and sided with Germany. Within a month, Italian planes bombed Tel Aviv and Haifa, inflicting multiple casualties. The British refusal to provide arms to the Jews, even when Rommel's forces were advancing through Egypt in June 1942, and the 1939 White Paper led to the emergence of Zionist leadership in Palestine that believed that conflict with Britain was inevitable. Rommel uh, has won the complete northern Africa area. Rommel was German, uh, this military commander. He was a very successful commander in World War II, or some regard him as most successful army general in history. So he was advancing through Egypt, and now it was quite imminent that he will occupy. His intent was to occupy the Palestine, and because British refused to provide arms to Jews, and in white paper they said कि for joint administration of this region and stop on immigration of Jews. Because of all these reasons, Zionist leadership in Palestine thought कि now they have to they will have conflict with Britain without any doubt. Approximately 1.5 million Jews around the world served in every branch of the Allied armies, mainly in Soviet and US armies. 200,000 Jews died serving in the Soviet army alone. Many of these war veterans later volunteered to fight for Israel or were either in active support. Jews in the Middle East were also affected by the war. Most of the North Africa came under Nazi control and many Jews were used as slaves. The 1941 pro-Axis coup in Iraq was accompanied by massacres of Jews. The Jewish agency put together plans for a last stand in the event of Rommel invading Palestine, because Nazis planned to exterminate Palestine's Jews. Between 1939 and 45, the Nazis, aided by local forces, led systematic efforts to kill every person of the Jewish extraction in Europe. This event is called Holocaust. This caused the death of approximately 6 million Jews, and a quarter of those killed were children. In the Zionist movement, now the moderate pro-British was undermined by Britain's anti-Zionist policies, and now the leadership of the Zionist movement passed to the Jewish agency in Palestine, now led by anti-British Socialist Zionist Party, whose leader was David Ben Gurion. And now, because majority of the Jews in Europe either been killed in Holocaust or have been expelled, so in the Jewish diaspora, US Jews now dominated the Zionist movement. Before Holocaust, European Jews, they were the most prominent diaspora. The Labour Party of Britain won the general election in Britain, although Labour Party conferences had for years called for the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine, but now Labour government decided to maintain the 1939 White Paper policies. What was that? Stop on illegal Jews immigration. Only 75,000 will be allowed for next 4 years. After that, after 1944, Arab approval will be required, and this Palestine region will be jointly administered by Arabs and Palestine. This was the white paper. So new government, Labour government, they said we will go according to white paper. So now illegal migration, alleviate became the main form of Jewish entry into Palestine. In an effort to win independence, Zionists now waged a guerrilla war against the British. The main underground Jewish militia named Haganah was the main paramilitary organization of the Jewish population in mandatory Palestine between 1920 and its de-establishment in 1948 when it became Israel Defense Force. So this Haganah, they formed an alliance called the Jewish Resistance Movement with other paramilitary militia called Hetzel and Eastern Gang. So three of them, they made a Jewish resistance movement to fight a guerrilla war against British. On 4 July 1946, a massive pogrom in Poland led to wave of Holocaust survivors fleeing Europe for Palestine. 3 weeks later, this Jewish paramilitary militia, they bombed the British military headquarters of the King David Hotel in Jerusalem, killing 91 people. In following days, Tel Aviv was placed under curfew by Britishers and around 20% of Jewish population of Palestine was questioned by police. US didn't like this, so in the US Congress criticized British handling of the situation. Then again between 1945 and 48, around 1 lakh to 1.2 lakh Jews left Poland. Their departure was largely organized by Zionist activists in Poland under the umbrella of the semi-clandestine organization called Beria, that means flight. So they were smuggling Jews from Europe to Palestine. In 1947, the Labour government was ready to refer the Palestine problem to the newly created United Nations. United Nations was created after World War II. On 2nd April 1947, United Kingdom requested that the question of Palestine be handled by the General Assembly of UN. So the General Assembly created a United Nations Special Committee on Palestine to report on the question of Palestine. And in July 1947, UNSCOP visited Palestine, met with Jews and Zionist delegations. On the other side, Arab Higher Committee boycotted the meetings. The majority report of UNSCOP proposed an independent Arab state and an independent Jewish state and the city of Jerusalem to be under an international trusteeship system. So this is what the UN partition plan was. This yellow area will be Arab state, this red area will be Jewish state, and this white area, Jerusalem and surrounding, will be under international trusteeship system. November 1947, General Assembly adopted the majority report of UNSOP with slight modifications. The plan also called for British to allow substantial Jewish migration by 1st February 1948. But neither Britain nor the UN Security Council took any action to implement the recommendations made by the resolution. British withdrawal was finally completed in May 1948. The General Assembly's vote caused joy in Jewish community and discontent among the Arab community. So violence broke out between both sides, escalating into civil war. Up to 100,000 Arabs from the urban upper and middle classes in the city of Haifa, Jaffa, and Jerusalem, or Jewish dominated areas, were evacuated abroad or to Arab centers eastward. This situation caused the US to withdraw their support for the partition plan, thus encouraging the Arab League to believe that the Palestinian Arabs, reinforced by the Arab Liberation Army, could put an end to the plan for partition. The British, on the other hand, decided to support the annexation of the Arab part of Palestine by Transjordan. The Jordanian army was commanded by a British general. Now, Zionist leader David Ben Gurion, he reorganized the Haganah, that was paramilitary organization, and he made conscription obligatory. Every Jewish man and woman in the country had to receive military training. And then Stalin decided to support the Zionist cause. So now the Jewish representatives of Palestine were able to purchase important arms in Eastern Europe. On May on 14 May 1948, on the day of the last British forces left from Haifa, The Jewish People's Council gathered at the Tel Aviv Museum and proclaimed the establishment of a Jewish state to be known as State of Israel. Immediately following the declaration of the new state, both superpower leaders, US President Henry S. Truman and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, they recognized the new state. Arab League members Egypt, Transjordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq refused to accept the UN partition plan and proclaimed the right of self-determination of the Arabs across the whole of Palestine. Arab states marched their forces into that British mandate for Palestine area, starting the first Arab-Israeli war. Following independence, the Haganah paramilitary organization became the Israel Defense Forces. Large number of Jewish immigrants, many of them who were World War II veteran and Holocaust survivors, now began arriving in the new state of Israel and many joined the Israel Defense Forces. After an initial loss of territory by the Jewish state and its occupation by the Arab armies, from July onwards the tide gradually turned in the Israelis' favor and they pushed the Arab armies out and conquered some of the territory that had been included in the proposed Arab state. Israel signed armistice agreement with Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan and Syria. No actual peace agreements were signed. With permanent ceasefire coming into effect, the Israel's new borders, later known as the Green Line, were established. Israel was in control of the Galilee, Jezreel Valley, West Jerusalem and coastal plain and Negev. The Syrians remained in control of a strip of a territory along the Sea of Galilee, originally allocated to Jewish state. The Lebanese occupied a tiny area in Ras Hanikara, and the Egyptian retained the Gaza Strip and still had some forces surrounded inside Israel territory. So you can see this white area is under Israeli forces. This Gaza Strip is under control of Egypt. This area is under this Jordan. On 11th May 1949, Israel was admitted as a member of United Nations. Out of Israeli population of 650,000, 1% people killed in fighting as soldiers in IDF in this war. According to UN figures, around 726,000 Palestinians had fled or expelled by the Israelis between 1947 and 49. So you can see total Israeli population at that time was 6,50,000. And how many Palestinians were expelled in 2 years? 7,26,000. So more than the total Jewish population, more than that Arab Palestinians, they had to fled or they were expelled by the Israelis between 47 and 49 in 2 years. Except in Jordan and Palestinian refugees were settled in large refugee camps in poor overcrowded conditions and denied citizenship by their host countries. Only Jordan was the exception. They allowed in good refugee camps and they allowed the citizenship. In December 1949, the UN, in response of British proposal, established an agency, UNRWA, that is United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, to provide aid to the Palestinian refugees. As of 2019, more than 5.6 million Palestinians are registered with UNRWA as refugees, and it is the only UN agency dedicated to helping refugees from a specific region or conflict. It is distinct from UNHCR, established in 1950, which is the main agency to aid all other refugees worldwide. So you can see this was the Israeli area after Armistice Agreement of 1949. This complete area is under Israel in 49. This green area, West Bank, is under Jordan control. This Gaza Strip is under Egypt control, and these smaller areas are demilitarized zones. So in next video, we will continue these topics. Take care. Bye.